Dark Envoy is an RPG game that I personally anticipated, and today I want to talk everything about it. As I play the demo for 2 hours, I will share my thoughts and a short preview so you know everything about this game, what to expect, and what are my thoughts about this game. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Hi and welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Vasharal and this is Tellplay, a channel dedicated for gaming of all kinds. And in today's video, I will be talking about Dark Envoy, an RPG adventure game with tactical real-time combat and online co-op if you prefer to play it that way, in which you get to control a party of relic hunters in this tale of destiny, set in a conflict-torn gun and sorcery world. It is a game that honestly I've been really interested due to the fact that the combat seems really interesting, and I'm a sucker when it comes to tactical combat, so I wanted to be able to share this one with you. So I want to thank Keymailer and Event Horizon, the developers behind the game, for providing me a review copy for this game. I am really thankful for this, for having the opportunity to be able to try the game before launch and speak about this one, because as I've said, I've been really interested. So I'll be sharing my thoughts, my honest opinion about my demo experience, which were for about 2 hours, and I hope that you guys get a clear idea of what this game is all about. Event Horizon is a small indie company that made a similar game to this one, which is called Tower of Time, and honestly the game has been well received. It's very positive on Steam with 1,800, almost 1,900 reviews, and it's really good that this game has been well received because Dark Horizon takes inspiration, and from the looks of it, a lot of the things that you will see have been upgraded in such a way that makes the experience a lot more greater. Now, I didn't have the possibility to play Tower of Time, but I do have it in my library, so I'll make a separate video for that one if I get a chance to play it and review it. But for now, I just want to say that if you want a full-on experience, keep an eye for Tower of Time, because I think you will have a great time. Now, of course, in this time right now we're living where Baldur's Gate 3 is the talk of the town, so everybody is onto that game and talking about it. But if you want something different, or maybe something similar with a little bit much more openness to tactical combat, Dark Envoy is the type of game that you might want to try out. So keep an eye that this game is releasing on 24 October, and for the moment we don't have any other details, so hopefully the game doesn't get any delays, because from the looks of it there's a lot of things to talk about. The demo doesn't offer too much of details when it comes to what you can do and stuff like that, as you have limited things to do, but it teaches you quite a few things, tricks and capabilities that you're able to do in the game, so that you get a good idea of what this game is about. So if you do want to have access to trying this game out as a demo, as for now you cannot try it via Steam, so you have to go on their Discord server and talk with them over there, asking them permission and giving you a demo copy so you can go ahead and try it out. But from my personal experience, I can say that I enjoyed the game, although there's a few things that I do want to point out, that probably because the demo is not very expansive and you don't have that many capabilities to do much, you don't really get a full sense of what this game is all about. So from what I could recall is that you play as these two characters, as a brother and a sister, and as you start the game you get to customize the characters and choose their class and choose their appearance however you like. This is a very interesting concept and I really liked it. And basically these two characters, which are called Malachi and Kayla, hopefully I spelled that one right, but they are very much characters that you don't get to choose their personality per se, as they have their own backstory and interactions. Malachi is much more chaotic, he's more the goofball of the party, while Kayla is the smart one and she's trying to influence the party in different ways. What I found this game really interesting is the fact fact that your decisions are based on the characters that you have in your party. Now, because I played the demo, you don't get to have more than 2 characters, so you don't get to have multiple decisions, but I believe over time, as you meet other characters and introduce them in your party, you get to choose other kind of decisions that you can change the way you want to approach each situation. Kayla is gonna be more diplomatic, she's gonna try to converse with characters and avoid conflict, while Malachi is more chaotic, so he's gonna want to go into conflict and deal with things and situations in such a way that are much more reserved towards combat. Now, I don't know if the other characters that are gonna be introduced are gonna change very much about this, but for now, from what I saw in the demo, there is a decisions and they do change the outcome of everything that you do. I've had a couple of decisions that I had to do in the game which I found quite interesting, but they're not extremely complex as maybe in Baldur's Gate, for example, or other games that I played of that kind of caliber. Although I think the story is fairly simple, it's easy to digest, and the characters are in a way or another a little bit confusing, to say the least, in my first impression that I had with this game, because I didn't get to know more about these games. I felt like I was a little bit thrown in the whole scene, and getting to know the characters just a little bit, it's fairly confusing, so I hope I get more clearance on who they are as characters. The writing side, I didn't feel like it was fairly the strongest part of the game, to be honest, because of the lack of decisions that you have. You only have combat or being diplomatic, so for me that was fairly a simplistic kind of way of dealing with things. But the main aspect of the game is the combat here. The combat is a semi-turn-based tactical RPG where you get to choose and pause time, and in the same time you get to dodge in real time projectiles, and by pressing space on keyboard you get to pause the game or slow down the game and be able to get out of area of attacks in such a way that you take less damage. Now, the combat that I played in the demo is fairly repetitive when it comes to side quests, and I honestly wish it was much more interesting, but the main story is a lot more interesting, and I think that's where the game shines more as it explores the world much more, while the side quests are a little bit much more about collecting resources and getting things for the characters so that they get stronger. As any other RPGs, you get to level up your characters, and in the same time you have items that you can choose to equip. What I really like about this game is the fact that characters can swap between weapons whenever they like, no matter what their profession is. So even if you created a sorcerer, you can swap again and try a different kind of build. They're not constrained by anything, and that is really interesting, and I personally like it because I don't feel like I need to always pick up the tank. I can always make somebody to be a much more tanky character while the other one is gonna be the damage dealer. At the end of each mission you will get a graph where you will get all the information of who dealt the most damage, what are all the other stats that influence the combat and stuff like that, which is pretty interesting and great. Another aspect that I really like was the fact that abilities are fairly interesting and influence the area of attack. So if you are a sorcerer, you can choose which areas you want to influence and strategize in such a way that you deal damage. Each confrontation that you have, they're based on a range that the enemy can see, and if you want to ambush the characters, you have the possibility to do that because you might have an advantage at seeing them from afar and hitting them with abilities by slowing them down, debuffing, stuff like that. So it's a cool concept, and I think it is something that I look forward to see more in full, because I didn't really manage to explore everything about what this game has to offer. But from what I saw, is the story is still something that I'm hoping that is more complex and more interesting as you go through it. As I look back at Tower of Time, which got fairly good reception from the audience, I'm expecting that whoever is writing Dark Envoy does a good job as well. But when it comes to combat, I think this is where the game shines the most. Hopefully we get more areas that are much more populated with things to do, and not just go from section to section, clearing some enemies and then moving on, and there's nothing else to do on those type of maps. The maps are semi-open world, so you don't get to explore very much. They're constrained in some areas, and you go from location to location as a side mission, and go and do those, but I really hope that there would be more characters and interactions that you will see, except what you're seeing in the main quest, which is probably the most interesting part of the game, because that's where the game opens up to you and you get to see what this game is all about. But yeah, pretty much that's all my thoughts about this game. I really hope to see how's this game gonna be as it comes out and what is gonna be the reception. I have no idea what is the price for this game as of yet, of while I'm making this video, so keep in mind everything that I shared with you, and hopefully when I get to play the full game I can share more about this game, what are my honest thoughts, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope this video helps you out and my thoughts helped you to have a better idea of what this game is all about. If you enjoy this kind of videos, you know what you can do is hitting the thumbs up. That helps us tremendously to reach to other people and let us know that we're doing a good job by sharing with you this kind of games, this kind of reviews where you get to have a preview of what is there to come. So if you are new to the channel and you want to support us more, you can subscribe and turn on the bell notification and you'll be notified every time we post something new. And that's pretty much all I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you are well. I know we haven't been posting for quite some time now. We got quite busy with a lot of things, a lot of activities, and there have been changes and there will be some changes that I will announce in the future. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. As always, take care, stay safe, and happy gaming.